Hello YouTube, Mortician Man 24 here, aka Eugene Johnson, with a quick update and a little review. Sorry I ain't made a video in a while. Been kind of busy, working on the movie. Still got some scenes to shoot of it, and we'll be doing a couple of conventions in March. So that's all coming up really fast. And we'll be doing also, if want to give a shout out to my friend James Johnson, aka my DVD reviews. If you guys are not subscribed to him, I suggest you subscribe to him. He's a horror fan just like me. He loves vampires and stuff like that. And if you decide to subscribe to him, you will be seeing us do a chat live this Saturday. I'll give you more details on that, and James will too. If you subscribe to him, got any questions, just drop us a message, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But anyway, on to the review, guys. It's only fitting that I do this review because he's personally my idol, and he will be missed by many people. As a matter of fact, it's my last video. I mentioned it, and but still, I didn't say. I don't think I said enough about him. But anyway, I just wanted to show this off. As a matter of fact, I got this in Virginia all the way back in November, and I mean, I haven't had time to review it, but I mean, this is the NECA 40th anniversary of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre figure. I love the box, and I love how NECA started doing these figures. It's got Velcro on it, and you open it up, and there's the figure. Girlfriend got this for me, which she got it at a very good price. She got this around 35 bucks, which now they're only going to go up because I recently did a web search on YouTube and seen another review of this particular figure, and the way that, sorry about the glare, guys, but the way that he put it, the figures, the deluxe figures that NECA puts out, are only going to go up in value. And plus, this being the late great Gunnar Hansen, it's hard to believe I'm saying that, late great Gunnar Hansen. Never would have thought, but you never know. But this is a very high quality figure, real cloth apron. Of course, I haven't opened it, and I don't plan on it. It has as accessories, an extra head, of course the iconic chainsaw, which what I really like about the chainsaw is, if you can't see it on camera, but if you look, the chainsaw blood, well, the blood on the chainsaw is actually all the way onto the chainsaw, on the top of the chainsaw, little blood splatters, which the rest of the figures, another guy brought up a good point. None of the figures actually have blood on the chainsaw itself. It's only on the bar. It's really decked out in blood on the bar, but the rest of the chainsaw is completely clean. But I mean, the detail of this figure is amazing. You get, but more to the accessories. You get the alternate head, which is the one, if you've seen the movie, where he's preparing dinner and being domestic, is the old lady mask. He uses 3 masks in the movie. The one he's got on right now is called the killer mask. The old lady mask, and at the end of the movie, the one that everybody agreed is the most creepy is the pretty woman mask. And I do have to agree, that's one of the creepiest masks I've seen. But you also get the knife that he cut Sally's finger with, the meat hook, and of course the hammer. But yeah, if anybody's got this figure, I seriously suggest not to open it. I mean, yes, the box itself had come with a insert where you could take it out and put the insert behind him to display him that way, which is, if anybody's seen the movie, in the original movie, he opens up the metal door and behind him's like a room full of bones. It's a red room full of bones. That's basically the printout you got. It's the room, and you can put your figure in front of it, which really looks cool. But I suggest not opening it. This one's not going to be opened. I do have the Mezco Cinema Fear screen grabs. I've got that one downstairs that's not going to be opened. But no, as you can see behind me, uh, that poster was going to be signed by Gunnar Hansen way back in September at Scaricon in New York, Syracuse, New York, just outside Syracuse. And, lo and behold, Gunnar had to cancel, because of an undisclosed illness, which I thought the man had got a cold or a flu or something like that and he couldn't come. And next thing I know, there's people calling me and everything else going, Gunnar passed away. I'm like, are you serious? I thought he just had a cold. And, come to find out he had cancer, pancreatic cancer. And so, I mean, very horrible way to go. And, yes, there's probably going to be some people that disagree with me or will probably get mad for what I'm fixing to say, but now, in my opinion, there's only Gunnar Hansen, Bill Johnson, R.A. Mihailoff, Robert Jacks, and Dan Yeager, to me, that's got fans. Robert Jacks, he was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, which seems to be a lot of people's least favorite movie. But I will watch that one 30 times over before I will watch the remake or the beginning again, because of what Mr. Andrew Bonarski said. He will never, ever, ever have me go up to him and ask for an autograph. I will never, if and at all possible, I'll never attend a convention that he's a guest at, because the man, I don't know if you guys heard what he did. It's still, I'm sure you can find articles about it on the internet, but what he said about Gunnar Hansen, let alone Gunnar Hansen, Gunnar Hansen's not the important part. What he said about a dying man and a man with cancer was the lowest thing he could ever do. And in my opinion, he's personally probably more the scum on my boot that I get when I walk down the street. I have more respect for than him. A lot of you guys will sit there and probably get mad at me for saying that, but you don't talk about somebody that's been suffering from cancer and unfortunately passes away from it. My grandmother suffered from cancer. My grandfather suffered from cancer. I lost both of them. If you say something about a cancer patient, you lose all my respect. Andrew Bonarski, I don't wish bad on anybody, but I hope you never make another movie again. And if you do, there's tons of Chainsaw Massacre fans that will never see it, nor will they want to. Me personally, like I said, the movie that started me out liking horror movies was the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You look on the wall, you see the figures, autographs on the wall, tons more. I've got 2 more chainsaw posters downstairs. But I've got a lot of chainsaw stuff because that's my favorite horror movie. And fortunately, I'll throw this in here too. I'll tell you about the first time I got to meet Gunnar, which I only met him once. It was in a little, well, it was a pretty good sized convention in Louisville, Kentucky. It was called Fright Night Film Fest, and it was in 2007. As a matter of fact, it was August 18th, 2007. That's the reason that they put it on that particular weekend, because it was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre reunion. And when I found out that they would be in Kentucky, no matter what, I was driving to wherever it was at. And Louisville is like 100 miles away from me, but I still drove and met Gunner and Ed Neal and a bunch of others from a Chainsaw, and I also got to meet Marilyn Burns, who played Sally Hardest, Sally in the original. She became Sally Hardesty in part two. But never will forget. I walked in there and I turned down an aisle and looked up, and there he sat. He was sitting right there at the table. Nobody around him. And he seen me walking up, looked at my shirt, and of course I was wearing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt, and he looked up and he seen that shirt and he smiled real big. He got up, which was a very respectable thing to do. There's a lot of people that have shook their hand, they've never gotten up before. Some of them anyway. But Gunnar Hansen, he got up, reached out his hand, said, "Hello, I'm Gunnar Hansen, what's your name?" And, I told him my name, and we talked a little bit, and I told him, that I'd watched his movies since I was a kid, and what I discovered was Leatherface, and, we made a joke about how me being so young and watching these things, and I picked out a picture, he signed the picture. The picture's on my bedroom wall right now, which I have to show you guys, which after this convention, the plan is, after the convention in March, I'm going to come back, I'm going to get everything framed and put together, and I'm going to do a video of my autograph collection, which I got quite a bit now. But yeah, I will definitely show you my Gunnar Hansen autograph. Very, very proud of that picture. Be something that I cherish forever. And I mean, people are like, "Why did you get it signed personally to you?" Which it says, "Eugene, you're next, Gunnar Hansen." The reason that I got it personalized is because, to me, yes, you can, get people to sign your posters or whatever and sell them on eBay for $200 or $300, down the road. But it's not like that for me. I grew up on horror. I love horror movies. Believe it or not, watching horror movies got me through a lot of rough times, because where I enjoyed them so much, there was stuff going on that I hated that was in reality, so I'd just pop in a horror movie and sit and watch it, and, would be completely fine. I know that's weird to some people, but you find stuff relaxing in different ways. For me, horror's always been my outlet. And let alone now, people sit there and told me, told my mother and my grandparents, "Well, he's going to grow up to be crazy since you're letting him watch, those movies at such a young age." I'm 31 years old now. I've never even thought of harming anybody. And the one thing that horror movies got me to do was to star and act in a horror movie that I actually helped write. So it did nothing but positive for me. And I'm talking a little bit that I don't think people should bash horror as much as they do. When tragedies and stuff like that happen, they always seem to blame horror movies, which has nothing to do with it. I mean, that's what I've told everybody, don't be scared of a horror movie. Be scared of the person that's next door. You don't never know what they're doing behind closed doors. Perfect example of that, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was the all-American, handsome guy. A lot of girls thought he was handsome. That's how he got so many victims, was they all trusted him. And I mean, but he wasn't a horror fan. Uh, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't a horror fan. It's not the horror fans or the horror movies that you got to watch out for. I've been a member of tons of groups on Facebook that's horror themed, and they've some of the nicest people I know. And I mean, some of them, you know, I've got to fortunately meet at conventions. But anyway, guys, enough of the rambling. I just wanted to make this video and, you know, tell you that yes, I miss Gunnar Hansen dearly. I always will. And it's a shame that I didn't get to meet him again. Unfortunately, there's a lot of you guys out there that wanted to meet him that didn't get to. I'm one of the fortunate ones, I will say that I got to meet the man and talk to him. Unfortunately, my girlfriend, she didn't get to meet him, which she always wanted to. But I will always have that memory and that picture. And you can bet that it's one of my most prized possessions till this day. And it always will be. But Gunnar, we love you, we miss you, and we appreciate the movies that you made. We really, you know, you'll always have fans as long as I'm alive. I'll always be a fan of yours, and I'm sure many people feel the same way. But anyway, guys, this is my little tribute to Gunnar Hansen. And also, I will be doing cosplay at Horror Hound this year, and I will be doing a package unboxing here shortly. And I'm not going to tell you who I'm going to be cosplaying as, because I'll just wait till the package gets here and do an unboxing. I'm sure you guys will figure it out after you see what I unbox. That will be here shortly. It's already on the way. But anyway, I just wanted to give a quick update, a shout out to my buddy James, and to tell everybody that I'm okay. I will be doing, as soon as I get the time, I will be reviewing a couple of Blu-rays that I got. One of them is Madman, the other one is Scalps. Definitely got to do some reviews. I ain't done any in a while, so we'll be doing that. So be looking for that. Also, we'll be doing some unboxing videos here within the next week or so. Be watching for that, and I will definitely see you guys soon. Until then, keep it horror.